Hello, this is Group 8 with myself, Timothy Hayes, and my colleague Joseph. We'll be explaining the blockchain platform called Cardano. We'll be explaining its technology, the applications, and giving an overall feedback on the blockchain.
What is the Cardano project? It's simply a decentralized proof of stake blockchain protocol designed to surpass the shortcomings of its predecessors, which are Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, let's put this into a clearer perspective. Bitcoin, introduced by Satoshi Nakamoto, became the foremost widely accepted cryptocurrency in the world. It was the first time people were able to send money from one another without a trusted third party like financial institutions or payment services, thus making it a decentralized system. It is quite transparent as everyone in the network can view all the transactions, and the platform has proven with time to be adequately secure. It uses the proof of stake, it uses the proof of work consensus mechanism to verify or authenticate transactions. And this is referred to as the first generation of blockchain. Vitalik Buterin, a Bitcoin enthusiast, um, noticed some shortcomings in the Bitcoin blockchain, chiefly its inability to accept the use of scripting language, which was later called smart contracts, for application development. He recommended the upgrade to the blockchain community. Unfortunately, he couldn't get a consensus to agree on adopting the smart contract idea. So in 2015, he created his own blockchain called the Ethereum. This heralded the second generation of blockchain. Ethereum makes use of smart contracts, which enables transactions to become kind of smarter than that of the first generation, in the sense that that transactions on the blockchain can be executed when predetermined terms and conditions are met. So that means there's actually no need for an external influence. So these programmable codes have now become their own umpires. Ethereum seem to have closed the shortcomings of Bitcoin, but he also had his own shortcomings. As highlighted by Charles Oxen, who is also a co-founder of Ethereum, the issues of scalability, interoperability, and sustainability were not adequately factored into Ethereum as well as Bitcoin. So this led to Charles Oxen or Charles Hockenson establishing the Cardano project, which is referred to as the third generation of blockchain. The Cardano project launched in 2017 and it was built on two underlying principles, which is peer review and high assurance code. The project team wrote several research papers, which were critiqued at international conferences, collaborated with universities, and did other things to address the issues raised about the existing blockchain technologies. The team also ensured that the Cardano project code was thoroughly checked and tested by a series of engineers, all to ensure and to maintain high assurance coding standards. These two underlying factors led to the creation of Ouroboros, Cardano's proof of stake consensus mechanism, which is used to verify transaction on Cardano's blockchain and also other things. So next we'll be looking at the technology behind the Cardano project. Ouroboros is said to be the first provably secure proof of stake protocol, which combines a unique set of technology, including mathematically verified mechanisms, behavioral psychology, and economic philosophy, to ensure the security and sustainability of the blockchains that depend on it. Unlike the previous generations of blockchain, Ouroboros allows for more scalability and sustainability as it requires minimal energy to add blocks or an increase as well as maintain its sustainable performance even with the increase of users in the network. So how does Ouroboros work? Ouroboros processes transaction blocks by dividing chains into epochs, which are then divided into time slots. A slot leader is randomly selected by Ouroboros for each time slot, and that slot leader is responsible for adding new blocks to the chain. Unlike the proof of work mechanism where miners compete to mine new blocks, Ouroboros ensures that there is no competition between users or miners to produce blocks. Instead, the slot leader is randomly selected based on the amount of tokens, which is ADA, which is a currency using in Cardano. So the slot ADA uses the number of ADA ions as a stake, and the slot ADA is thus in charge of producing new blocks. So this method of staking reduces energy waste and computational resources, as only one user is assigned to mine a block per time, as opposed to multiple users per time in the previous blockchains. So this makes Ouroboros quite efficient compared to the proof of work mechanism used in the Bitcoin and formerly using Ethereum before Ethereum changed to proof of stake also. So Ouroboros also protects against adversarial attempts through a mechanism called settlement delay. It assumes that an adversary can intercept honest messages from honest participants for more than one space, and that arbitrary messages can be sent to participants at any time. Hence, it ensures that each new slot leader is required to consider the last few blocks of the receipt chain as transient. That is, only the chain that precedes a specified number of transient blocks is considered settled. In this way, Ouroboros securely passes the ledger between participants in the network and secures the network from any form of attack. So what are the features of Ouroboros? Let's just talk about a few of them. I think just to add to the ones I've talked about earlier. So Ouroboros is energy efficient. One of the drawbacks of Bitcoin is its high energy consumption. Compared to Ouroboros, using the proof of stake method, this consumes minimal energy, and this obviously helps Cardano to be able to scale further and to be sustainable even in the nearest future. Let's talk about rewards and incentives. Rewards in Ouroboros include transaction fees and funds from ADA reserve. So these are incentives to users on the network so as to maintain the sustainability of the protocol. Rewards are obtained by either operating a stake pool, that is a slot leader, or delegating your stake, which is ADA to stake pools. And Ouroboros has been proven to be secure. Lots of, for example, Ouroboros uses a verifiable random function which produces new and fresh randomness at every epoch to choose slot leaders. This ensures that no attacker can manipulate the system to choose him or her as a slot leader perpetually. In addition, Ouroboros uses a forward secured digital signature scheme whereby stakeholders or block creators use different private keys to create blocks per time, deleting the previously used keys. So this makes the protocol quite secure. And for some of the hashing algorithms, Ouroboros is said to use several hashing algorithms, including the SHA-512 in EDDSA, that's Edwards-Curve Digital Signature Algorithm, and a host of other things.
Hi, this is Timmy Tayo again, and I'll be continuing with the applications of Cardano. So, Cardano is a decentralized blockchain protocol that was designed as an alternative to Ethereum, and it's also the first peer-reviewed protocol that uses a scientific approach. These protocols platform can be used to execute smart contracts as well as create wallets. And here are some of its applications that can be explored a little bit in depth. So the use cases of Cardano can be seen in cryptocurrency. With Cardano's utility token called ADA, users can make payments, spend or sell ADA, vote on changes and developments within the Cardano ecosystem. In addition, ADA tokens are also used to verify staked transactions on the blockchain, and that helps it maintain security. And just to give an explanation on how staking works with ADA, a node's ability to open blocks in a Cardano's proof of stake system is just determined by its stake. So an ADA's node stake is equal to its long-term holdings of the currency, and participants in a pool, they hold stakes that are secured with any pledge of ADA that they make. Now, it's not possible for the holder of a pledged ADA to spend or use it to his or her benefit because it is held as a collateral for honest validation behavior, and eventually transaction fees are then awarded to ADA pledged users. So the second use case of Cardano is in smart contracts. Smart contract features on Cardano can be used in a wide variety of industries, including retail, education, and finance. For retail, the company behind Cardano is called the Input Output Hong Kong, which offers something called the ETALA scan, and this is a tamper-proof system. And for in retail, brands and customers in the retail sector can be protected from counterfeit goods by establishing product provenance on Italascan. For education, an ID and credentials solution such as Itala Prism can secure academic certifications within its tamper-proof ecosystem. And for finance and digital identity, the Itala Prism system can also allow unbanked citizens of developing countries to access digital identities. Building tools for blockchain governance, the Cardano system has been working with 54 countries since 2019. The third use case of Cardano is in wallets. Cardano provides its native wallet called Daedalus, which is the its parent company's official full node wallet. Now, ADA can be stored on exchanges or in crypto wallets, but Daedalus specifically is Cardano's official full node wallet. And in addition to holding and staking ADA, it is also an investment tool. So, with the Daedalus wallet, token holders can earn coins by staking the ADA or delegating it. And now we'll be comparing Cardano, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. So for the very first feature, we have energy consumption per year, and we can see that Cardano has the least terawatts per year, where Bitcoin has the highest with about 77.78 terawatts. For transaction fees, Cardano also has the least processing fees with about $0.21, and with Bitcoin and Ethereum charging about $20 per transaction. For scalability, Cardano is supported by its core consensus protocol. Now, a consensus is a process by which a majority opinion is reached by everyone involved in running a blockchain. And an agreement has to be made on which blocks to produce, which chain to adopt, and to determine the single state of the network. Now, Cardano's groundbreaking proof of stake consensus protocol is called Ouroboros, and as highlighted by my colleague Joseph in the earlier part of the presentation, is proven to have the same security guarantee that a proof of work system would have. For Bitcoin, Bitcoin was not designed to be scalable. However, it was intended to be a decentralized payment system where users can remain anonymous and access it from anywhere. And so they have adopted the Lightning Network. And the Lightning Network is a transaction mechanism between two parties. Using these channels, the parties can make or receive payments from each other. Transactions conducted on the Lightning Network are usually faster and more confirmed than those conducted directly on the blockchain. And it's a slow adoption, but Bitcoin is using the Lightning Network. For Ethereum has an inherent scalability issue because its platform limits it to about 30 transactions per second, and that can lead to network congestion that just arises from the volume of transactions happening on the platform, and also leading to skyrocketing fees. And there has been a work in progress, but there is no estimated time of availability for its scalability problem. For formal verification, it's only Cardano that has this feature available. For transaction confirmation time, Cardano has a 60-second confirmation time. Bitcoin has the highest with about 30 minutes, and Ethereum is the fastest with 39 seconds. For smart contract support, Cardano and Ethereum have this available on their platform, but it is not available for Bitcoin. For NFTs, only Ethereum and Cardano as well that have this available, with it not being available to Bitcoin.
Cardano project is yet from being established like its predecessors, but there are promising signs of it being used widely in the nearest future.
So now just to give an overall feedback on Cardano. Now, as we saw in the earlier slide, we saw a comparison of Cardano to other popular cryptocurrencies. So its design, Cardano's design, may be better than many popular cryptocurrencies in terms of efficiency, scalability. We saw that it had at least transaction time, and it's supported by a core consensus protocol that proves quite scalable. But as with everything, there are pros and cons. So we'll be looking at some of the pros. First, Cardano is more environmentally friendly. It does not rely on energy intensive mining that uses thousands of computers. For example, like the proof of work system that Bitcoin uses is more resource intensive, and therefore Bitcoin transactions will be using more electricity than proof of stake projects. But Bitcoin is estimated to use about 100 terawatts an hour of electricity a year, and that is as much as the entire country of Sweden. But Cardano only consumes about 0.01% of that. Second, it has fast and cheap transactions. So it's expected that Cardano will be able to process more than 250 transactions per second, in comparison to about 4.6 transactions per second for Bitcoin. And for Ethereum, it's about 15 to 45 transactions per second, meaning that Cardano processes transactions faster. Its transaction fees on Cardano is also about like 0.16 to about 0.17 ADA, which is about 21, some pennies, as we saw in the comparison table. But on Ethereum and Bitcoin, it was about $20, which is over $10 per transaction. Also, Cardano is a peer-reviewed network. There are currently no coins in the market that use what is called a scientific philosophy and a research-driven approach to its coin. And in practice, this just means that ADAS, that is the utility coin of Cardano, its open source blockchain has to go through a rigorous peer review process by scientists and programmers. For the cons, Cardano is still in development, and the development of many crucial features such as scalability is still ongoing. However, progress, you would say, is steady, and it could also be argued in some way that ADA might be overvalued. And considering that it's an unfinished product with a limited utility compared to its competitors like Ethereum, Bitcoin, have more development and more usage. And so the potential of Cardano may be reflected in much of its current value, despite the fact that it has years of research and marketing behind it. Another con of Cardano is also the lack of developer interest. On Electric Capital's developer reports, Cardano was just one of the slow growing developer ecosystem. But when you compare it to other ecosystems such as Solana and Near, they grew over 4 times in developers, even though they have a smaller market capital than Cardano. And it is argued, or it is explained, that this lack of developer interest in Cardano is probably due to the complex programming language of Haskell, the programming language that is used in Cardano. So the last con that we'll be looking at is the plutocracy. Now, in a plutocracy, the governing power is dominated by the wealthy, either directly or indirectly. And so a proof of stake model can end up being a plutocracy where nodes that own the most stakes are running the show. But since Cardano is still conducting research to refine its algorithms, it shows that there would be a complete version released by the end of 2022 or its second quarter. Then only then maybe its prospects can be evaluated more comprehensively. So in conclusion, Cardano is not one we can say, yes, this is a go, or no, do not go for this, in comparison to other Bitcoin cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think it's just to weigh the pros and cons with every coin and choose what works best for you. So thank you very much for listening to our presentation on Cardano, and here are our references.